My name's Eddie Davis. I'm from Walhalla, South Carolina, Oconee County. I was diagnosed with epileptic seizures when I was 7 years old. I had a bad accident on a bicycle. I had hit a car, so the left side of my head, and it started causing me to have epileptic seizures from there till now. Well, they had put me on seizure medication, and I've been taking it for all these years. And it's never kept them completely away from me. And I heard about marijuana, being good for people with epileptic seizures, cancer, glaucoma, pain. There's a lot of different things it's good for. So I heard about that, and I started trying it. Well, I never had funny feelings in my head no more. I never had the blackout spells no more. And this right here is even with taking the legal medications, I was still having the blackout spells. But when I started the marijuana, blackout spells went away. I knew it was a big risk of, going out and buying this stuff, smoking the stuff, even possessing it on you. So I was trying to do without it once again. And that's when I met my wife here, Diana. She had just got her a car when I'd met her. She had a lot of money tied up in it, so it really made me feel bad. But I had to get off work one day, and I had to go pick up my son from school and drop him off by my oldest brother's home. And thanks to God that I had to let him out, because it's the same. When I let him out, less than 2/10 of a mile up the road, I had a blackout spell. Don't remember nothing. Sent her to the telephone pole with my wife's car, totaled it out. I had blood running down my head here. I was picking glass out of my head for 3 or 4 months. I said, never again will I do this. So I picked up the medical marijuana once again. Started keeping it in my system regularly instead of doing as a occasional kind of thing. Well, here I am, as far as my seizures, I'm 100%. I'm fine. I don't have the little funky little head feelings no more. I don't have the blackout spells no more. And well, 3 years ago I was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy. And I was doing the medical marijuana also, but not as much, because it didn't take as much to keep my seizures away it does to take care of somebody with chronic pain, such as I mean, chronic pain is something that it'll make you commit suicide. You can only hurt so much, and so much pain is all you can handle. Well, finally it was getting to where it was a tough struggle every morning just to get out of bed. In a way, I kind of hated waking up the next morning. I hated it, I really did, because I just knew what it was going to be like another day. Well, I went to pick up medical marijuana, started keeping it in my system a lot more. My pain started cutting down more. Well, finally I was having troubles with doctors seeing me to try to help me figure out what I was, what I had. Went through 12 different doctors before I finally found one that said, well, that don't matter. So what? Well, he understands me smoking medical marijuana for my purposes. He don't care. But now, since I have been keeping it in my system regularly, as you would a legal medication, 3-4 times a day, whatever's prescribed to you for. Well, now I have gained my about 45 pounds back, and I don't have to depend on what I call a third leg, which is a cane, half as much. And I don't have to depend on my wheelchair half as much.
Why don't you tell us, what does it cost you medical marijuana?
Medical marijuana cost me probably maybe $350, $400 a month.
What's it cost you as far as your family?
It's cost me everything. It's cost me my kids, all 4 of my kids. Because when I come into this marriage, I had 2 kids. My wife here had 2 of her first marriage. I raised my 2 children, my oldest 2, for 15 years. No help with nobody. Nothing. Took care of them up until 3 years ago. And I was set up, turned in. I only had 6 grams of marijuana in my home. 6 measly little grams, that much across the bottom of a sandwich bag. They took my kids, took my license, they just wrecked my life. Just turned my life totally around. They took a big piece of my heart and they stomped on it. And I will never get it back. No matter how hard I try, I'll never get that back. Never. It just don't make no sense, you know, why there's all these legal medications that's out here, you know, that they're feeding all these people, and then next thing you know, somebody's killing somebody because it wasn't clinically tested right. I let these Oxycontins they have me on for my pain. They keep me constantly sick. I'm sitting around like this here usually. My wife has to do 90% of the driving when I'm on. I mean, I just don't know how to describe it to you. It just makes you totally dysfunctional. I mean, 'cause that's the closest thing to heroin that you're gonna get.
But it's legal.
But it's legal.
Well, how are you whenever you are, again, how are you when you're on marijuana? By comparison.
Just as normal as anybody.
You can think clearly?
Think clearly, I can drive clearly. I don't hurt half as bad when I'm up walking around. It actually helps me stay walking around a little bit longer. Because without it, 15, 20 minutes is the best I can do. Chronic pain, which I have, if it's on a scale from 1 to 10, I say it's 100. Chronic pain that I have to deal with every day is the kind that most people have done stuck a gun in their mouth and pulled the trigger.
If there's anything, if something you could tell America, what would you want to tell them?
I would tell them that all these people that are so strongly against medical marijuana needs to wake up and they need to realize something. Who do they trust the most, man or God? Who makes the biggest and the most mistakes, man or God? God made this earth. It's a beautiful place, right? God made all these plants, right? Also states in the Bible you use the herbs of the earth to heal your body, does it not? I would say everybody needs to wake up, pull together, and help us get this thing legalized for people. Because when people realize it or not, this right here is I'm going to say it's a more important medication than anything anybody has ever made. Because one thing is good for so many things. Epileptic seizures, MS, glaucoma, cancer, AIDS, and God knows how many more. That's 5. Do you know of one drug that man has made that can take care of 5 things at once? I don't. And why should they have to outlaw something that's, how do I want to say this, it's not so lethal to your body because it's never been a proven fact anybody's ever overdosed on marijuana. Nobody's ever died from marijuana alone. But yet you got people out here every day that's taking these prescription drugs, you know, that can OD on 2 Oxycontins. Bam, they're dead. So we all really need to pull together and we all really need to get this legalized. It's a harmless plant.